I consider myself a pretty experienced baker. After trying hundreds, maybe even thousands of desserts from all over the world, I honestly didn't think there were many recipes left that could still surprise me. But then I tried this Greek orange cake called Portokalopita. It's probably one of the easiest desserts I've ever made. Welcome back to David Cooks the World, my new series where I travel the world, learn authentic recipes from local chefs and home cooks, and then recreate them with you in my own kitchen. This time I flew to Athens to learn how to make one of Greece's easiest and most unique desserts, Portokalopita. Let's start with what makes this cake so different. Normally, when we are making cakes, the main ingredient is flour. This recipe does something completely different. Instead, we are using Phyllo pastry, not as layers and not wrapped around the filling. Instead, the Phyllo actually replaces the flour. When I first learned this during a cooking class in Athens, I honestly thought it sounds strange. But once you understand the technique, it makes perfect sense. To start, we need to dry the Phyllo. And there are two ways to do it. The traditional way is to separate the Phyllo sheets, tear them into rough pieces, and let them air dry until completely crisp. Depending on your kitchen, this can take several hours, and some Greek chefs leave it overnight. If you are short on time, here is the shortcut I recommend and the method I personally use. Spread the torn Phyllo on a baking tray and bake it in a preheated 300 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius for about 10 minutes, or until it's completely dry and crisp, but not browned. If you are using frozen Phyllo, make sure to thaw it overnight. Then crumble them into even smaller pieces. That's what's going to give the cake its incredible texture. Let's make the syrup. We want the syrup completely cold before the cake comes out of the oven. So it's best to get this out of the way first. Add the sugar, water, fresh orange juice, and a cinnamon stick. Bring everything to a boil. Then lower the heat and let it gently simmer for about 5 minutes. While the syrup is simmering, let me tell you something I found interesting. If you watched a few Greek recipes before, you probably noticed that many of them ends with pita. Spanakopita, tyropita, and now Portokalopita. In Greek, portokali means orange, and pita simply means pie. Spanakopita is actually one of my favorite Greek dishes, and while I was in Athens, I had the chance to try one of the best I've ever had. And if you want to see my recipe, you can find it right up here, or get the link in the description below. Alright, our syrup is ready. Now let's set it aside and let it cool completely. Now let's make the batter. In a large bowl, whisk together Greek yogurt and sugar until smooth. And since we are using Greek yogurt, if you watched last week's tzatziki episode, you already know why authentic Greek yogurt is so thick and creamy. If you missed that episode, I'll link it right up here. Then add the eggs, orange zest, fresh orange juice, vanilla extract, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Whisk everything together until combined. Finally, whisk in the oil until the batter becomes smooth. And that's it. No mixer, no complicated techniques, just a few simple ingredients coming together. Now for my favorite part. Look at this. The Phyllo is completely dry, super crisp. And now comes the fun part. I don't know why, but crumbling it by hand is incredibly satisfying. So add it gradually, one handful at a time. Crumble it directly to the batter, just like this. Once all the Phyllo is in, let the mixture rest for about 5 minutes. That gives the pastry time to absorb some of the butter before baking. Grease your baking pan with a little oil, pour in the butter and spread it into an even layer. You can bake this cake either in square pan, rectangular or round pan. I will add different pan sizes in the written recipe on my blog. Bake for about 35 to 45 minutes or until it's beautifully puffed, deeply golden brown and crisp around the edges. You'll know it's ready the moment your kitchen starts smelling like oranges. Before we move to the most important step, if you're enjoying this series and don't want to miss future recipes, make sure you're subscribed to my free newsletter. That's where I share every new recipe, behind the scenes updates, and all the episodes of David Cooks the World, straight to your inbox. You'll find the link in the first comment and in the description below. As soon as the cake comes out of the oven, use a knife or a skewer to poke holes all over the top. Now comes one of the most important tips in this recipe. Always pour cold syrup over a hot cake. Don't forget to remove the cinnamon stick. Slowly pour the syrup over the cake a little at a time, giving it a chance to soak in before adding more. And don't forget the edges, they absorb plenty of syrup too. The temperature difference helps the cake absorb the syrup evenly while keeping its texture light and fluffy. It's the exact same principle you'll find in many Middle Eastern recipes, like baklava and knafe. If you like to make those too, you'll find links up here. Now all that's left to do is let the cake rest until every drop of that syrup has been absorbed. Slice it up and serve it just as is, or my favorite way, with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Now I understand why this dessert has been loved in Greece for generations. Let's taste it. So good. And that's it. Episode 3 of David Cooks the World is officially done. If you missed the first 2 episodes from Greece, where we made an authentic Greek salad and traditional tzatziki, I highly recommend watching those next. I'll link both right up here. Or just watch until the end of the video and click the end screen. But next time we are leaving Greece and heading somewhere completely different. Can you guess which country I'm visiting next? Leave your guess in the comments below. Thanks for watching, see you in the next adventure. Bye!